The exact order to build wealth. Most people get it wrong. Imagine two people, both earn the exact same salary. Both invest the exact same amount every month. 10 years later, one has built real wealth. The other is drowning in debt. How is that possible? The answer isn't how much they invested. It isn't which stocks they bought. And it definitely isn't luck. The real difference is something almost nobody talks about: the order. Most people believe building wealth is simple. Save money, invest it, wait. That's the advice we've heard for decades. But what if that advice is incomplete? What if investing too early can actually make you poorer? What if the biggest financial mistake isn't choosing the wrong investment? It's investing in the right thing at the wrong time. According to data from the Federal Reserve, Vanguard, Bankrate, and other financial institutions, millions of people are following a financial strategy that quietly destroys their wealth before it ever has a chance to grow. And the worst part? Most of them think they're doing everything right. Today, we're going to break down the exact financial order of operations used by many professional financial planners. Not because it's trendy, but because every dollar has a job. And sending that dollar to the wrong place can cost you tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars over your lifetime. By the end of this video, you'll understand why some financial moves create wealth, while others only create the illusion of progress. But before you buy your next stock, you need to protect something even more valuable: your future. Part 1. The first rule. Nobody talks about. Most people think the first step toward wealth is investing. It's not. The first step is surviving. That might sound boring, but financially, it's the most important move you'll ever make. Think about it this way. Imagine you're building a skyscraper. Would you start with the glass windows, or would you pour the concrete foundation first? Nobody builds the top floor before the ground floor. Yet that's exactly how millions of people manage their money. They rush into investing while having almost no protection against life's inevitable surprises. A flat tire, a medical bill, a broken water heater, a sudden job loss. These aren't rare events. They're normal. And when they happen to someone without savings, their investments become their emergency fund. That creates a devastating chain reaction. Imagine you've spent months investing. Your portfolio is finally growing. Then your car suddenly needs a $2,500 repair. You don't have cash. Now you have two terrible options: sell your investments at the worst possible time, or swipe your credit card and start paying over 20% interest. Either way, your wealth-building journey moves backward. That's why financial experts recommend something surprisingly simple before almost anything else. Build a small emergency reserve, not 6 months of expenses, not a huge fortune, just enough cash to cover your biggest insurance deductible or your first major emergency. Think of it as installing airbags in your financial life. You hope you never need them, but if you do, they can prevent a small accident from becoming a financial disaster. It isn't exciting, it won't make headlines. But this tiny buffer protects every financial decision you'll make afterward. And once that safety net is in place, you can move to the first opportunity that actually gives you something almost impossible to find in finance: a guaranteed return. Part 2. The investment. That instantly doubles your money. Imagine someone offers you this deal. For every dollar you invest, they immediately give you another dollar. No market risk. No waiting, no guessing. Would you take it? Of course you would. The surprising part, millions of workers already have this opportunity, and many ignore it every single year. It's called the employer retirement match. If your employer matches your retirement contribution, you're not just investing, you're receiving additional compensation. In some cases, contributing just 4% of your salary instantly becomes 8%. That's an immediate 100% return before the market even opens tomorrow. Think about that for a second. People spend years trying to find investments that return 15% annually. Meanwhile, They're walking away from a guaranteed 100%. There isn't a stock, a cryptocurrency, or a real estate deal that can consistently compete with that kind of instant return. That's why financial planners often place the employer match near the very top of the wealth building sequence. Because mathematically, it's almost impossible to beat. But here's where things become even more interesting. Many people believe paying off debt should always come before investing. Others believe investing should always come first. The truth is much more nuanced, and one specific number determines which decision actually builds more wealth. That number changes everything. Part 2. The 21% mistake that silently destroys wealth. A lot of people think investing is always the smartest place to put extra money. After all, the stock market has historically returned around 10% per year over the long run. So why wouldn't you invest every spare dollar? Because that 10% only matters if you're not losing even more somewhere else. And that's exactly what millions of people are doing. Imagine trying to fill a bucket with water while there's a giant hole in the bottom. You can keep pouring water forever, but the bucket never fills. High-interest debt works the same way. According to Federal Reserve data, the average credit card interest rate is now over 21%. That means every dollar sitting on a credit card balance is growing against you every single day. Now compare the math. Let's say you invest $1,000 into the stock market. If the market performs close to its historical average, you might earn around 10% over the year. That's about $100. Sounds great until you realize you're simultaneously paying over 21% interest on your credit card debt. In the same year, that same $1,000 of debt could cost you more than $210 in interest. You made $100, but lost over $210. Your net result? You're actually moving backward. This is what financial experts call negative arbitrage. You're taking investment risk while guaranteeing a larger loss somewhere else. It's one of the biggest wealth killers hiding in plain sight. And yet millions of people unknowingly do it every month. But here's something even more interesting. Financial planners don't say all debt should be paid off before investing, only certain types. Why? Because not all debt is created equal. A mortgage at 3 or 4% is completely different from a credit card charging over 20%. One is relatively cheap money. The other is financial quicksand. This is why many experts use a simple threshold. If your debt costs more than roughly 6% to 8% interest, eliminating that debt usually creates a better financial outcome than making unmatched investments. Why? Because paying off that debt gives you something incredibly rare. A guaranteed return. No market crashes. No bad years. No uncertainty. Every dollar used to eliminate expensive debt permanently removes future interest. It's a return you don't have to hope for. You lock it in immediately. But this raises an important question. If paying off high-interest debt is so powerful, why don't more people do it? The answer isn't mathematics, it's psychology. The real enemy isn't debt. It's human behavior. Most financial mistakes don't happen because people can't do math. They happen because our brains were never designed to make perfect financial decisions. Behavioral economists have spent decades studying why intelligent people repeatedly make expensive money mistakes, and the answers are surprisingly human. One of the biggest traps is something called present bias. Our brains naturally value rewards we can enjoy today more than benefits we'll receive years from now. Buying something new feels exciting. Watching debt slowly disappear doesn't. That's why so many people chase exciting investments, while ignoring the expensive debt quietly growing in the background. Then there's another powerful force: fear of missing out. Every day, social media floods us with stories of people supposedly turning a few $100s into millions through stocks or crypto. What we rarely see are the thousands who lost money trying to do the same thing. That constant stream of success stories creates the illusion that everyone else is getting rich. except us. So people rush into investing before fixing the cracks in their financial foundation. Ironically, that decision often delays wealth instead of accelerating it. Because real wealth isn't built by chasing every opportunity. It's built by removing the obstacles that silently drain your money year after year. And once those expensive leaks are finally sealed, something remarkable begins to happen. For the first time, your money starts working for you instead of against you. But before you can truly start building wealth, there's one more layer of protection almost every successful investor has. It's not another investment. It's something much simpler, and it might be the only reason they survive the next financial crisis without losing everything. That's where we're going next.